Coming back in the 10 o'clock hour to some breaking local news. I've known about this for a while, but I couldn't mention it till this morning. It is it combines two of my favorite things. A great local entrepreneur story and space exploration. This is phenomenal stuff. Joining us live in studio, CEO of Atomic Smith, Trevor Smith, live in studio on the Mark Arum Show. Trevor, good morning. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks for having me on.
Did I butcher something? Did I hammer something?
Oh, I think you said Atomic Smith. It's Atomic 6.
Atomic 6.
You're close.
You're Trevor Smith.
Yeah, that's
right.
Yeah,
I'm trying to squish it all together to save time. All right, so I am not going to explain. Tell me first about your company, about you, where you are, and then we'll get into the breaking news that was announced today.
Sure. We are based right in Marietta, Georgia, right across from Dobbins Air Reserve Base, and we build advanced composite structures primarily for extreme and demanding environments. And our two leading environments happen to be space, which we're talking about today, and hypersonics here locally. Hermeus, if you've heard of them, building hypersonic aircraft.
Okay.
So aircraft moving faster than the speed of sound. They're a customer of ours, but we're here to talk about an exciting announcement for space today.
Yeah. So again, I had to sign an NDA. I knew about this for a while. I couldn't discuss it on the radio, so I brought you in because you would look at me and be like, oh, Mark Arum has a scientific mind. He probably majored in advanced math. No, I know none of that. So I am holding up this is an actual tile that you produce in Marietta. And not this tile in particular, if you're looking live at YouTube or at WSBradio.com.
The white part.
But the white part. A tile similar to this, or tiles similar to this, will be used now in what fashion?
So those will be going on our customer, Portal Space Systems. They have a very unique vehicle they are launching in October of this year on a SpaceX Transporter 18. And they are going to be flying into some unique areas of space. And certain areas of space have more debris than others. And so this customer would like to have additional protection from that debris moving very, very fast.
And obviously space exploration, we know the history of the space program. You've got to protect both the manned and non-manned missions that go out there because there's valuable cargo. And that's what your company is doing now, which is got to be knowing that something you make is going to be flying into outer space at God knows how many miles per hour. That's got to be hugely exciting for you and your staff.
Very exciting. And what's really crazy, the projectiles that we test the speed of the projectile could go from Atlanta to LA in 5 minutes.
Wow.
Mach 21, or about 17,000 miles an hour.
That's in how many minutes? From
about 5 or 6 minutes.
About
depending on traffic, right?
It takes Longoria that long to go to the bathroom down the hall, and you can do that. So I don't know if this is like the Colonel's secret recipe, but can you tell us what are in your tiles generally that make them so amazing for high pressure situations?
Sure. I can tell you what's not in it.
Okay.
I can't actually tell you what's in it.
Understood.
That's that secret stuff.
Yes.
But what's not in it is metal. So this is an all-composite shield that stops debris in space. Having no metal in it allows us to do some really unique things. So if you know what a radome is?
Sure.
You know what a radome? Okay.
Absolutely.
You've been on a Delta flight.
Yes.
So the little bubble on top of the fuselage.
Okay.
Right? There's a little bubble that protects the communication system, the radar. So that dome, radome, protects the communication systems from the outside environment. In space, we've never had a radome that protects communication systems from debris moving at 17,000 miles an hour.
Okay.
Right? So the material set that we used in this armor allows for radio frequency transparency, so we can send RF signals through it, or we can actually block it, depending on where the customer wants to put the tile. So we can block it or let it through. But this, to my knowledge, is the very first radome ever built for space that can stop debris and directed energy.
So you could still get a cell service through this tile.
Yes.
That's amazing. Your background as a child, little Trevor, you're playing with Legos and erector sets. Is that where this this career arc came from?
I didn't have the sort of nerdy, sciencey background as a lot of my other space co-founder colleagues do. I grew up racing motorcycles and playing on the farm. Yeah, speed.
Okay.
Speed got me here.
So Atomic 6, I'm holding up, this is not the actual tile that's going to go on, but this is just like a prop for the radio guy to hold up. How many of these will be in this next endeavor? How many tiles did you sell to this company that are sending the rocket up?
Portal will be sending up 2 tiles, and they're covering their most critical assets on that spacecraft, and they put it on basically the front bumper, if you will, of the satellite.
Okay.
So the front bumper of your car gets all the rock chips and dings, right? The front bumper of the satellite, we call it the ram side. It gets all that debris impact typically. So that's where they're putting these things.
I have no doubt this will be successful. Your product will be successful. What comes next? Are you is SpaceX a future customer for this Marietta operation? Where do you see this tile being used in the future?
So we have customers ranging from astronaut suits. So we want to implement this into actual astronaut suits to make them more lightweight, more durable. Human private space stations. Space stations need to be covered by debris shields, just like the International Space Station is today.
Yeah.
Private space stations need that debris coverage. And then terrestrially, there could be some unique applications that we haven't looked into yet, but we think it could stop small explosives, because the projectiles from a hand grenade or a C4 actually move around 8 kilometers per second, which is around the same speed that we test these for orbital velocity, 17,000 miles an hour, give or take.
So the possibilities are limitless when it comes to this secret product that does not contain metal in the future.
There's some exciting things in the future we're looking at, both for space and terrestrial.
Trevor Smith, CEO of Atomic 6, joining us live in the Mark Arum Show. Can you hang out for a second?
Sure.
I just have to casually give away $1,000. You don't mind if I do that, do you?
No, go for it.
All right. It is the 5K a day bonus blitz, and you're eligible, Trevor. You are not an employee of WSB Radio. Trevor and everyone listening, the 10 a.m. keyword is perks, P-E-R-K-S, perks. Enter the keyword perks into the WSB Radio app or WSBradio.com/cash. You have until 10:30 to enter the keyword. Win $1,000. Keyword is perks. Don't forget, if you get a phone call after 10:30 from a number you do not recognize, pick it up. Could be us telling you you won $1,000. Again, the 10 a.m. keyword is perks, P-E-R-K-S, perks. Good luck. All right, continue our conversation with Trevor Smith, CEO of Atomic 6. Launch date. What's the launch date, and what are you and your colleagues going to be doing? Do you get special access to watch the launch, follow the launch?
I hope so.
Okay.
But we will be going to Vandenberg Space Force Base. That's in California. And the launch is in October. They've not picked a date yet, but it will be on a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket taking off from Vandenberg Space Force Base. And the unique thing about this will be what's called a sun-synchronous orbit, which is a really unique orbit around the Earth where you're always looking at the sun, for lack of details.
So I think that might have answered my next question.
Okay.
It's the SpaceX Transporter 18 rideshare.
Correct.
Their mission, do you even know what their mission is, or is that top secret?
So a rideshare, you have lots of different space companies putting their own satellites onto that launch. So when this rideshare Transporter 18 goes up, there will be 40 or 50 or 60 different satellites from different companies that all get launched together. It's like a bunch of people getting on a bus and then getting dropped off at a bus stop somewhere in orbit, to put it simply.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah. So it'll be really exciting to launch our very first space armor into space in October with our good friends over at Portal Space.
And what I think is interesting, too, is, again, I'm fascinated with space exploration. It's so expensive to get things into space. I think the number is, for every pound of water NASA wants to bring into outer space for the space station or whatever, it's $10,000. It costs them $10,000 to launch 1 pound of water into space. I would imagine the weight of your tiles is extremely important to the folks that want to use them.
Absolutely. So these tiles are not only lighter weight than the existing protection used today on the International Space Station, but it's actually thinner and then doesn't have any additional debris impact once it gets hit. So recently in the news, we saw 2 different strikes take down some very expensive missions. The Chinese astronauts got stranded in space because their reentry vehicle got hit with what I believe to be less than 1 millimeter space debris impact. So the tile you're holding protects against 3 millimeters or less, about the size of a BB. And 3 millimeters and less is all untrackable. We can't even track it because it's so small we don't know to protect from it. But yeah, a 1 millimeter debris impact took that Chinese vehicle out, so they had to send a new vehicle up to get them. And then about a week ago, there was a $400 million Spanish satellite that took a hit that had a large insurance claim, as you can imagine. So you're going to see these impacts. I mean, we don't want it to happen, but it's going to happen because
there's so much debris up there.
We're putting more mass up into space.
Are these resistant to lightsabers?
There is a thing we call directed energy.
Okay.
For layman's terms, that might be called a laser.
Okay.
It is resistant to directed energy.
How about that, Deborah? We got, what's that comet they say might be, what's the name of that thing? Atlas?
Atlas, yeah.
Something.
3AI Atlas,
yeah. So we'll keep an eye on that. All right, so home use. Deborah's redecorated her bathroom. She's obviously enamored with the design of your tiles.
Lovely tiles.
Deborah wants to redo her whole bathroom with these tiles. What's that going to set her back? Will we see these in Home Depot someday?
They're about $1,500 a tile right now.
That's not bad, Deborah.
Yeah.
You work so many jobs. You've got plenty of money.
So, Mark, I'll tell you something interesting. I grew up in Mississippi and moved to Atlanta here in 2010. I wanted to see if my 9mm handgun would go through this shield.
Okay.
So what do you think? I took it to the range and I shot it. What do you think happened?
I have complete faith in your product and complete lack of faith in your accuracy. So I'm going to say that the tile held up.
I did hit the tile.
Okay.
My accuracy was good. The bullet went right through because it was moving too slow.
Wow. How about that?
Yeah. So these shields don't start working until we get up to about 4 kilometers per second, or call it Mach 10.
Okay.
And terrestrial bullets don't fly anywhere near that fast.
So my Revolutionary War musket would tear this thing up.
Oh, yeah. So think about slapping the water with your hand versus slowly inserting your hand.
Yeah.
When you slap the water, your hand gets stopped. But if you move slow enough, you actually can go
Right
and
in.
penetrate it, right? So
Like butter.
It's kind of like that, but like crazy fast speeds in orbit and space that we're dealing with.
Phenomenal local story. I love it. Folks want to know more about this Marietta-based company, and I'm sure there are folks out there, hey, are they hiring? Where can we find more about your company?
Our website is www.atomic-6.com. You can also find me on LinkedIn, Trevor Smith.
Congratulations, Trevor. Very excited for you. If you do get that invite to the launch party, I'd love to join you.
You should definitely come, Mark.
There you go. Excellent. Good stuff, friends.